Hey everyone, I'm gonna show you guys how to break down or cut a 48-day dry aged bone-in ribeye roast. This comes from the front part of the cow, so these short bones right here are next to the chuck, and then it comes back into here is where you get your ribeyes from, and it's next to the short loin. So I'm gonna show you guys how to break this down right now. This has been aging for 48 days in our Steak Ager, and we'll just go ahead and get started. So we're gonna make a cut in half, and you wanna watch out for these chine bones right here. So you wanna kinda cut next to the bone and go across straight in the middle. That looks perfect right there. You can see that nice dark color, that nice aging right in there. Use the bones right there so you get less loss right in here. We're gonna start with this side right here, with the large bones. We're gonna cut a couple bone-in ribeyes. So what you're gonna have to do is you wanna take off this hard part right in here. So you'll make a nice slice. And you can use this stuff here for grind, or you can just toss it, what most people do. I've seen people make burgers out of it, which is kind of crazy. But we're just gonna take a little slice right here, right off the front end. And you wanna try and cut the least amount off as possible to get the least amount of loss. All right, just one piece, we'll set it aside. We're gonna cut one bone-in ribeye here. So we're gonna go straight down. Right there, and we're gonna trim off all this excess after. Okay, that looks nice. Cut another one straight here. It's a big cowboy steak right here. Here we go. Look at that. It's a nice big fat steak. And you want to come back in here and trim all these parts off. We'll get to that. We'll set this aside. And then for this part right here, what I like to do is kind of trim off these bones, and then you can cut manageable steaks right in here, because these are big beefy cowboy steaks. So what you want to do is you got to watch out for these chine bones. You're going to start close to this bone, if you can see right here. And you're going to start making cuts as close to the bone as possible. And just make several cuts. If you touch the bone, that's okay. I'm going to curve your knife around. Make sure you get close to that bone. Keep kind of peeling it back. Keep making your slices. And just keep peeling back. It's kind of hard because it's dry aged. And then when you get back here, shake your knife, a little stronger, larger knife. And you want to just watch out for those chine bones that are in here. Because again, those are the chine bones. So you can make an incision right here and come back across. Nice and hard bones. And this right in here is the back end of your rib roast. You want to trim off obviously the least amount as you can. This hard kind of beef jerky right here. Set these aside. You can set that aside. If you want, you can stick that in and make it into a stock. And then you're just gonna cut away all this pellicle. And this, with dry aging, what happens is the dry ager controls the humidity, it controls the temperature, and it starts to attack it, and it forms this pellicle, and that concentrates the flavor. And as you concentrate the flavor and you lose water, that rich meat starts to turn to a dark red, and it intensifies the flavor. So you're getting loss, but you're getting a better quality tender steak. First, you're just gonna cut some steaks out of this. There's one. There's two. And it'll make it easier to just cut off that pellicle. This bad boy in half. That boy is hard. Okay, let me trim this off. There we go. It's hard. It's like you drink. Okay, so cut this down. There and there. Then you're gonna come back around, take your knife, and trim off all this excess here. So make sure you trim it away so you just have that nice tender part. You want all these hard parts off. And then what you have here are beautiful dry aged 48-day ribeyes. Look at that. That looks pretty. Let's cut one of these bone-in cowboy steaks. Cleaver this thing real quick. There we go. That's part of the chine bone and our bone in. Let's cut this part off. Any part that you see that's a little brownish, I'm gonna hack that off. There we go. And boom. There we have it. Here's our bone-in big cowboy ribeye, 48-day dry aged. And here is a boneless ribeye, 48-day dry aged. You just continue with the rest of them. I like to reverse sear mine. Let me know in the comments how you like to do yours. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Ara Zeta. Follow along for more recipes. Oh! Slap of the meat.